Hello and welcome back to Rue's Life, and welcome to my August plot tour. And everything is bursting into life, and despite the slow start, the super fluctuations from cold to hot in temperatures, and then our absolutely scorching for the UK temperatures where we actually went over 40 degrees Celsius, which is just unheard of here in the UK. Things are looking good. So let's start outside and then we'll work our way back into the polytunnel. So starting here at my flower bed, do ignore the weeds. I've got lots of weeding that needs to be done all around the plot, but the overall aesthetics of this bed I'm absolutely thrilled with. The Rudbeckia is starting to flower. The cosmos is coming now, and you can just see colour all around. I'll just move a little bit more. The snapdragons are starting to burst into life. Yeah, everything is really coming. Sweet Williams are slow to come, but I think next year they're going to look fantastic. The Livingston Daisies have been flowering. And the new plants that I've put in are settling in nicely. Some of them have flowered or are flowering, but they will be more mature and everything's going to look so much better this time next year. So the leek I had in a tub in the polytunnel, which I was thinking of putting in the ground, I've actually decided to pop them here, and I will put a link above as to why. Those of you that have been following me for a long time will remember I put some leek like this with the view to moving them on and then didn't, and had a huge success. So if you're interested in that video, I'll pop it in the link above. And let's move on to the squash. So the majority of the ones up this side are more of a bush variety than a climbing variety. And you can see they're really starting to look good. The big guy down the middle is, yeah, just romping away. So all of this down the middle is just the one, I can't remember the variety, but it's the big guy that hopefully we will be able to carve. And at both ends you can see it's come all the way, it's vined right to the end. When it reaches the very end of the bed, I will start to nip it off. We've got lots of flowers going on, so I'm hopeful. As I say, I just want at least two from that plant. And then the climbers, you can see, are really starting to romp away now. This one here, I just need to encourage again onto the next little bit. So each day as I come out, when they've grown a little bit more, I will tuck them and encourage them to climb. But you can see they really are coming. We've had flowers and we're starting to form some little squash, so I'm really hopeful for another good harvest. And then we'll move along here. Now there's a lot of attention needed on some of these beds, but you know what, we're doing okay. So the Brassica bed here, we have got sprouts, curly kale, purple sprouting broccoli, cabbage, let's move along, and we had cauliflower at that end. This end has now just become a bit of a bed of weeds, and some of the cauliflower that I didn't pick, or those that I picked and left bases in, have actually bolted and gone to seed. So I do need to spend some time having a bit of a weed clear out and pulling off some of the dead foliage from these guys. But all in all, I'm quite pleased with the way things are coming along. And then we'll move along to what was the onion bed, and at the moment is just a mass of calendula and Californian poppy. And the plan is, before these really go to seed, is actually to get them out and to clear this bed completely. And then we'll move along to what is actually bed number 1. Still got the lovely chives in that corner doing really well. At this end here we've got beetroot, and there's more beetroot just across there, and I've actually been harvesting and eating that, and it's really delicious. I've got two varieties. We have got the Chillies, which is the beautiful candy stripe variety, and I've discovered that's the first year I've grown it, that it's delicious raw. And then I've also got Boltardi, which is your lovely darker traditional beetroot, which I prefer cooked. And then moving down, we've still got a good few of the snowball variety of turnip, and I've been harvesting, and we've been either eating them or I've just been popping them in the freezer. There's a little bit of damage on those, but they're doing okay. Again, for those of you that may be new to the channel, yes, this brassica cage needs netting to keep the cabbage whites off. Other netting that I'm using on this bed and on any other beds that I net is simply to keep off the birds, because we do have a lot of pigeons, pheasant and partridge, and that's the other reason I use Mr. Owl, and I find that the combination is quite successful to keep the little blighters at bay. The raspberries, thank you to those of you that gave me some advice on these. So I did have some raspberries growing years ago in a garden of a house when I moved in, but I hadn't planted them, and we used to just enjoy picking them, and I do recall picking them in the autumn. Oh, there's a cabbage white that's got himself inside that net. I think he should be able to find his way out, because Chris had intentionally left a few gaps and the larger mesh here to let pollinators in and out, but I'd rather he was fluttering in and out there than he was getting in with my brassicas. Anyway, so thank you to those of you that gave me some advice. These were raspberries that given to me by one of my sisters as an autumn fruiting variety, but they completely confused me by starting to fruit, and I've actually been picking and eating a few of them. But those of you that have a bit of experience with raspberries have basically said that you believe it is because the weather's been so crazy, and they are in fact an autumn fruiter. And then the strawberries are still going. There's a few Californian poppies which are everywhere in amongst them, but you can see we've still got some strawberry flowers, and I'm still getting, if I just zoom in, you may be able to see, I hope you can see through the netting, I'm still getting beautiful big fat red strawberries. So moving on, we've had loads and loads of rhubarb. It really didn't like that hot, dry spell, but it's bouncing back. And then let's go into the polytunnel, but we're going to go in from the other end because I've got this door shut. So I'll walk down and take you in from the other end. And just while we're passing, I thought I'd show you how pretty the hanging baskets are looking on the shed. It's a little bit overcast today, but when the sun shines on those beautiful red geraniums, they really pop with colour, and they just look lovely. And if I just move around a little, you can see also the ones in the little window box are also looking absolutely gorgeous. So let's go into the polytunnel. So the first thing you'll notice is how amazingly these beans are doing. Yeah, they're looking absolutely fantastic. It's like a green sort of grotto in here at the moment, and that was my plan, putting these bean arches in, that I wanted to have these beans right up over the polytunnel. And you know, it's just so lush and green in here, just from when I gave you the last tour. So in this bed, parsnips are looking absolutely great. These lettuce are coming along nicely. They are the romaine ballon type. These beans are the Greek gigantes, and you can see, you know, they're coming up beautiful, and I can feel those big fat beans. I can't wait to sample those. I have finally pulled up Oh, just while we're up here, the basil is looking really good, and we've been picking and eating bits from that. I had a delicious salad recently, full of basil. It was wonderful. This is my next lot of peas that were on the staging, which I finally got into here, and I pulled the other ones out and harvested what was left of those. I have direct sown literally just, I don't know, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, some Gelato Beans, simply because this little dude down here is doing so appallingly. He's put a bean out, but it's not doing. So I popped some Gelato in, and as you can see, they're starting to climb. So they're going to be later, but I'm hoping for a harvest. And then these dwarf bean rondo, but look at these. I mean, they're absolutely laden. You know, the plants are really quite heavy now with these. Let's try and move the leaves. These beautiful, beautiful beans. So it's the first year I've grown these dwarf variety, and they're doing really well. It's only going to be a small harvest, but they're looking really healthy. The little geranium that I'd managed to save, the one that I thought was dead, is flowering in the basket and looks beautiful. My melons, the watermelons. So what I've actually done, let's come back, is I'd propped them in this bed. And, you know, it's only been, again, a matter of weeks since I did that. And I'll pop a link above to that video. And I've started to grow them up. And they're really romping away now. And we've got flowers. And I'm really hoping for some fruits. And as I say, if I just get one melon that I can eat, I'll be happy. So hashtag Transatlantic Melon Challenge Team UK. I am crossing everything. Come on, little melons, do your thing. But yeah, look, there's flowers, and there's more flowers, and I'm quite excited. The fact that I've actually got them here growing in my polytunnel actually makes me a little bit giddy. So even if nothing ever happens past this point, I'm amazed to have melons. I didn't think you could grow them in this country. So yeah, I'm keeping everything crossed. It'd be great to get an actual melon, but if I don't, I will definitely be starting them off earlier next year and having another go. And then we'll move on to the cucumbers. So they're looking really, really healthy. They're grabbing on and climbing up. The plan is, if it keeps climbing, you can just see where it's reached the top here. I will attempt to get it to come across and go across the top there. But we've got lots of flowers. If I just get you in a bit closer, we have got some little baby cucumbers, which I have spied. So let me see if I can find one for you. Here we go. So there they are. So they're coming, hurrah! And then while we're down at this level, we've got the these are the round variety, I forget what their actual name is, of courgette, and another round variety but in the paler green here, and they are coming. And then the more traditional variety here, my chillies. So I thought they were looking really, really healthy, but so we've got 4 pots with the cayenne chili pepper, but they still haven't flowered, and I've got this kind of leaf curl. So any chili experts, I've never been brilliant with chilies, but I usually get some flowers and I usually get some chilies. So yeah, anybody know? Again, I'm suspecting it was just the fluctuations in temperatures and then the extreme heat. However, the tomatoes are looking really good, and we've got some lovely fruits forming. They're looking great. There's a few more here. So the tomato plants are looking really, really good. The onions are seasoning absolutely beautifully. Let me fish one out of here. I mean, look at that. Absolutely lovely. I have seen some videos that people haven't had such success with their onions this year, so I'm afraid I am feeling just a little smug because I have had a really good onion harvest. A lot of people talking about how they don't have success with sets and have better success with seeds. I am the other way around. So again, just for scale, I'll put my hand in here. I mean, look at that whopper. I'm absolutely thrilled with my harvest this year, and they are curing beautifully in here. Some of the red ones had tried to bolt, but again, in the polytunnel here, in the dry, they're seasoning really well, and there's some more white in here. So I've got a really bumper crop and I'm thrilled, and I never have much luck. In fact, I've given up growing them from seed. And then we've got a cross on the staging. So you may have seen in my previous video I was trying to crack on and get stuff done, and I've still got more to do. So these leek definitely need to go either into a bed or into a better space. The celeriac that I thought I'd killed has actually bounced back, but how well it will fare now I don't know, because it's been in that pot rather a long time. But I'm going to move it and give it a chance. There's some flowers in here and I've completely forgotten what they are. Here we are, there's a little marker, let's have a look. Oh, Canterbury Bells, so they really need to go out into the bed. The lupines there doing good, and we've got some kale here that actually I should have got it under the netting, because I don't know if you can see there, it's got a little bit of damage on it. So there were a few cabbage whites fluttering around in here, and we did have a couple of caterpillars, but I've managed to feed them to the chickens. So they are no more. And then my precious lupines, which I'm going, in fact I've got a weed in there, that's going to be a priority job. I need to take care of these lupines because they are the precious ones that were my mum-in-law's seeds that she'd saved. So I really would like those to flourish, so I'm going to pot those on, really look after them before I put them out into the flower bed. I may, in fact, I haven't decided yet, but they will have a special place where I can enjoy them and think about Dart. And then on this side of the bed, more beans. So these are the Belotti. I just love the colour of the flowers. So they're doing really well. And then I've moved some lettuce that had been far too long in a pot, and they're looking okay. Behind these beans, which are the Madeira Maroon, now we've got a lot of leafage on them. We had a little bit of flowering, and we've got some beans, but there's not been as much, there's been more leaf than flower. So we'll see how we go, but there's still a few little flowers trying to form. Again, I think the combination of fluctuation in heat and then the extreme temperature has really affected everything. Lurking behind those, this is just delicious Mizuna. Look at that, it is amazing. So you know, I'm just picking what I need when I need it. These baskets, which were salad, are still alive and looking beautiful. I was picking bits out from the rocket, but everything's bolted and flowered. But do you know what? They just look lovely, don't they? So sometimes things don't quite go to plan, but you get something you weren't expecting. The little baby sunflowers here, I mean, they want to point outwards towards the sunshine, but look how pretty they are. So they're really jolly. This spinach is absolutely delicious. This is the Perpetual Spinach. And then I have moved the bright lights, so the chard, the multicoloured chard. And as always, when you first move it, it does tend to have a bit of a sulk. But it won't be long before that bounces back. So I pulled up all that old chard. We've had some. The chickens had the rest, and then I've got some more on the go. So I'm absolutely thrilled with the way things are progressing. as I say, considering the weird and wacky weather that we've been having, I'm pretty chuffed with the way things are coming along. So do let me know in the comments below how your vegetable gardens or your flower gardens are coming along. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to all of you, my older subscribers and new. I have had a little influx of new subscribers lately, so thank you so much. And if you are new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing and hit that bell so you'll get notifications of all my latest videos. But for now, take care and I'll see you all again soon.